Hi everyone, I'm Ray and welcome to my kitchen. Today we are making a roasted cabbage and onion dish. I already cut the cabbage into thin slices. I've got half of it washed and drained here, and then the other half I just wanted to come on camera and show you this part of it. So this is actually a salad spinner. And what you do is you put your wet lettuce in there, and in this case I have cabbage, and you just pump this handle and it gets all the excess water off of whatever is inside of it. So before I moved past this point in the prep process, I wanted to show you this particular device in case you've never seen one or don't have one. I love this thing. I use it for salads, I use it for cabbage, I use it for herbs sometimes like cilantro and parsley. So it's a pretty useful tool because it gets all that excess water off. And then once it stops spinning, you just take it out and you've got whatever, a quarter cup of water there that you don't really want in your dish. So anyway, I've got one whole head of cabbage here that we're using for this particular recipe. And as you can see, I've sliced it rather thin. And so we are going to start layering in some of the other ingredients, and then we're gonna bake this, and then we're gonna broil this, and it's gonna be so, so good. Before we move any further, I want to talk a little bit about cabbage and why I am making a dish of cabbage. So I consider cabbage to be a very quietly powerful food. It's inexpensive. You can get a whole head of cabbage for like $1 almost, and this is organic, which maybe $1.50. It does more for our bodies than we actually give it credit for. So I want to just talk about some of the benefits of cabbage, and then we'll get going on the recipe. It is one of those foods that is extremely supportive for your microbiome, and so it supports gut health. Okay, it feeds all the good bacteria in your belly, which is a good thing. It is also important for detox. It is not going to detox your body if you eat it, but what it is going to do, it has sulfur compounds in it that enable the body to open up detox pathways. So if you have a lot of toxicity in your body, eating a lot of cabbage is a good way to help open up that detox center in your body, particularly starting with your liver, to allow some of those toxins to be eliminated from your body. That's why I kind of say it's quietly powerful. So for many reasons, but that's one of them. It's also an anti-inflammatory and antioxidant food. It's got vitamin C and polyphenols, which is what antioxidants and anti-inflammatory foods are all about, which is great. It also supports hormones, particularly for women and particularly estrogen. So those same sulfur compounds that help open up our detox pathways are also used for helping the body metabolize estrogen. Okay, so it's got that going for it. So hormone support. And then it's very nutrient dense. So we talked about vitamin C and polyphenols already, but this also has vitamin A in addition to the vitamin C. It's got folate, it's got potassium, and it's almost 0 calories. It probably takes more energy in your body to actually chew and digest it. Very nutrient dense for like no calories, which is great. You can eat cabbage a lot of different ways. Most people eat cabbage in salad, sometimes in soups. And so those are kind of the common ways. Today, this particular dish, we're gonna actually roast it in the oven, and we are going to add, and another way that people eat it is fermented foods like, kimchi and sauerkraut. We're gonna mix some probiotic onions with this, and then we're gonna put a nice sauce on it, and then we're gonna roast it in the oven. And you are gonna see how we can make cabbage be one of those foods that you actually want to eat instead of kind of like, oh, I'm eating it because I know it's good for me and I have to. This is gonna be a dish that you're gonna wanna make over and over. So I've got it started here in this big bowl, and again, thinly sliced. And now I'm going to add one whole yellow onion, also thinly sliced, as you can see. Some of the pieces are smaller than others. And so we're just gonna kind of mix that up a little bit so it's all sort of tossed together. And then we are also, let's talk about onions for a minute. So onions are really great because onions are loaded with probiotics, which are great also for your belly. So this is a very belly-friendly food. It feeds all the good bacteria in your stomach, which is what you want. And when you do that, that bacteria kind of takes over and is really good for your body because it gets rid of some of those bacteria that make you crave sugars and things that aren't so good for you, carbs, things like that. And so we're also adding a leek. A lot of people don't really know what leeks are about. It's in the onion family. They're long and they look like gigantic green onions. But leeks are really good for you too. They've got their own set of nutritional properties, but they're also high in probiotics. So again, belly. One of the things about leeks that I learned very early on in my cooking from my grandmother was the best way to clean a leek is to actually slice it and put it in a bowl of cold water and let it sit for a half hour, which is what I did here. And the reason for doing that is that leeks have a lot of dirt because they're grown in the ground. And so it collects on each of the layers. So they're kind of, you can kind of see here, they're sort of layered like a green onion would be, right? And so what happens is when they're in the ground, they get a lot of dirt in between those layers. So when you put these in a bowl of water, what happens is the leeks float to the top and the dirt floats to the bottom. So it's a really nice way to clean them. And then what I always do is I just take the leeks out of the bowl, trying not to disturb the dirt on the bottom, put them in a colander, give them a good rinse, and then just set them aside until I'm ready to use them. So that's a really nice and easy way to clean leeks, okay? So now that we've got this part all set, and these are really the main ingredients, are onion and cabbage. Now we're going to add some spices and some sauces. All right, so now we're going to make our seasoning that we're going to put on top of the cabbage before we put it on the baking sheet to go in the oven. So this is going to take 3 tablespoons of water and 2 tablespoons of tahini. So tahini, what is tahini? Anybody? Tahini is sesame butter, basically. So it comes in a package like this. As you can see, I bought it at Sprouts. This is an organic version, and it's an unsalted version, which is needed for this recipe because the recipe itself has salt, okay? So we don't need salt in the tahini and then also in the, in the seasonings. We're just gonna do it all in the seasonings, okay? So we're gonna start with the tahini and the water. And I'm using this little Cuisinart mini prep just because I find it easier to get everything blended together well. I don't want to overdo it though, because it's already a butter. If I do it too much, it'll just be thicker butter, and I don't want that because I want it to distribute throughout the cabbage onion combination that we've got sitting aside right there. So we're going to add all this stuff in, and then we're just going to turn this thing on just to give it a good process. Now, this is what not to do. This is what I was talking about. You see how it gets like, it looks like butter again. So I did it for too long. So I'm gonna need to add some water to thin it back out again. Okay, and just for a moment. Okay, so it's better. It's not quite as buttery as it was. It's still a little thick, but I'm gonna go with it anyway. So I'm going to get all the goodness off of the blade here, and then we'll get everything else out of this container. Okay, and we're just going to put this on the cabbage. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use our hands. We're going to get dirty, and we're going to get it all, we're going to toss it together, but we're going to use our hands to do that. That way we can make sure that this gets really well dispersed. Now there's also a little bit on the lid, so I'm going to get what I can off the lid too. Okay. So I'll give you all the ingredients for the seasonings, but it's basically onion powder, garlic powder, and some sweet paprika with salt and pepper. Okay? So we're just going to mix this up with our hands and then get it well covering the cabbage and the onions. And then we're going to spread everything out on that prepared baking sheet I've got behind me. I put aluminum on it because this is going to also go into the broiler. And I can't go into the broiler with parchment paper because the paper will catch on fire. So I am using foil this time on the sheet to keep everything from sticking to the pan. Okay, we've got everything very well combined here, and we've got pretty much every piece of cabbage and onion covered with the tahini spice seasoning. So we are now going to get everything onto this cookie sheet, or this baking sheet, I should say. And then we're going to spread it out in a relatively thin layer on the baking sheet. And you can see I have got a very big baking sheet here. So this is not a standard cookie sheet. This is a pretty good sized baking sheet. Now, if you wanted to do a half recipe, of course you could do that. But when I cook, I like to cook in quantity because I like to freeze and meal prep and share. So I usually use big pans. My grandmother, when she taught me how to cook, she taught me how to cook for a crowd, not for 2 people or 1 person. So anyway, okay, this is going to go into the oven at 400 degrees for 10 minutes. And then when we take it out, I'm going to stir it up, put it back in for 10 more minutes, and then it will be ready for our final glaze and our spicy seasoning that's going to go on top. Okay, we have our cabbage out of the oven. And so now what we're going to do is we're just going to stir it around ever so lightly. We don't want to rip the foil, so we're going to be careful, but we're going to stir it around a little bit, and then we're going to put it back in the oven for 10 more minutes. And then while we're doing that, we're going to go ahead and make our hot sauce that's going to go over the top. So we've got this kind of stirred up a little bit. And now we're going to spread her back out again. And we're just trying to get it into a thin layer so all of it can get cooked evenly. And then we're going to pop it in the broiler. So we're going to go 10 more minutes in the oven. And then when that 10 minutes is done, I'm going to go ahead and get the broiler going and get that in the broiler. And when we take it out of the broiler, we'll be back. In the meantime, we're going to make that sauce. Okay, while that's in the oven, let's get this sauce that's going to go over top done so it's all ready to go. So what I've got in this bowl right now is the 2 tablespoons of tahini and a couple tablespoons of water. And now I'm just juicing a lemon. So we'll get this in there and then we'll give it a quick stir and then we'll add some other ingredients. Okay, so we've got that done. And I want to make sure the tahini is not clumpy. So I'm using the back of the spoon and I'm pressing the back of the spoon into the big chunks of tahini to try to break them up so that it's not all clumpy. Okay. Now we're ready to add some other ingredients. So first up, we're going to add a tablespoon of red wine vinegar. And we're going to give that a quick stir. This is turning out very nice. And then next up, we're going to add some hot sauce. And we're going to add, I'm going to say 5 shakes. It's about a teaspoon. Okay, and we're going to give that a stir. And you saw that was just Frank's red hot sauce. Okay. Now we've got some seasonings that we're going to put over top. So what this has is it's got onion powder, garlic powder, it's got coriander, and it's got sweet paprika. So we're going to just sprinkle that in, and then we are going to mix that up as well. That coriander smells delicious. And then also I'm going to get a pinch of salt to put in here. Okay, and here's the pinch of salt. And we'll get that stirred in. Okay, so now we have our dressing, which is going to be delicious. Once we get this out of the broiler, we'll come back and we'll finish it up and have a taste. Okay, as you can see, we have our cabbage out of the broiler and it started getting kind of brownish, so I didn't want to keep it in there too long. And now what we're ready to do is we're going to take it off of the pan, the sheet pan here, and we're going to put it in the bowl, and then we are going to put some dressing on it. And we have our beautiful spicy dressing that we made to go over top. So I'm going to try to get it kind of all to one end before I lift up this pan because it's big and awkward. So I'm going to try to get all of it to one side of the pan just to make it easier. And you can see this has really shrunk down. We had that big bowl before, and now we've just got this bowl. And I'm not even sure we need this bowl, but we'll see. Okay, let's get this into the bowl, I should say. Wow, it really smells delicious. Remember, we had all those beautiful seasonings that we put on top before we put it in the oven. Okay, that's that. And now let's get this dressing on top. So we're just gonna kind of sprinkle it around so it's not all clumped in one spot. And then we're just gonna toss it all together, like so. That coriander is unbelievable. It smells delicious. Okay, let's give it a go. So good. The cabbage is cooked perfectly. The onions still have a little bit of crunch, but not a ton. This is really tasty. If you are looking for different ways to get cabbage into your diet, this is a winner. Gotta try it. It's so good. Bon appetit, everybody.